When I was younger, back in my first year of high school, I was describing the Sly Cooper series to a good friend of mine, saying how great the games were and how they were among my all-time favorites. He then recommended that I should play Ty the Tasmanian Tiger, saying that they were similar and that I would probably enjoy them. So, being the great friend that I am, I decided to wait multiple years before deciding to play it. The game begins with an awesome scene of Ty presumably running from something. And man, with these skills, whatever is chasing him will never be able to As they continue this game of tag, Ty falls into a mysterious underground cave. Once there, he meets the ancient elder Nandu Gilly, which is in no way related to the O'Gilly channel. Nandu describes that years ago a battle for 5 mystic talismans occurred between Ty's family and Boss Cass, who is the game's main antagonist. Whoever controls the talismans has the power to rule Australia. And I will say, this opening sequence sure does have an old school Saturday morning cartoon feel to it. Cass becomes surrounded and as a last ditch effort opens a portal with one of the talismans, which begins to pull in the tigers. Before they are trapped, however, one of them throws their boomerang, freeing the talismans and scattering them throughout Australia. So now it's up to Ty to find the talismans before Boss Cass can rediscover them. Ty isn't alone in his quest, however. Along the way, we are accompanied by Mari, who acts as a guide for Ty, Shaza, who is clearly the love interest, which, by the way, I love how they say Shaza. There's also Julius, a scientist who has a machine to automatically summon the talismans to them. However, in order to use this machine, we have to acquire enough Thunder Eggs to power it up. And now our quest begins. And I must say, Ty has quite an interesting look going on for him here. He's like a casual Australian tribal warrior surfer dude on a ranch. It's so interesting that he's even inspired me to really start mixing up my style. You mates ready to go? The player begins in Rainbow Cliffs, which acts as a hub area that contains different portals that lead you to specific levels. Each level is unique and has a variety of different tasks you must complete in order to receive Thunder Eggs. Once you have enough Thunder Eggs, you bring them back to Julius, who then summons a talisman with his machine. However, you can't grab that talisman just yet, because first you must defeat a boss. These boss fights, like most of the game, are not extremely difficult, but they do add another element of gameplay. Speaking of gameplay, there are a variety of aspects to it, such as jumping, gliding, biting, swimming, and let's not forget, engaging boomerang in action. Okay, so the enemies aren't that hard, but there is some challenging platforming. However, I can't really tell if it's my fault that I actually found some of these parts difficult for 2 reasons. Allow me to explain. 1. The camera, in my opinion, is kinda shifty. It moves unexpectedly and sometimes makes it hard to see where I'm jumping and landing. I did get more used to it as I went on, but I still won't say that it was very good. And 2. Grabbing onto ledges is very inconsistent. There were multiple times where I found myself missing jumps when Ty definitely should have grabbed onto a ledge. If I'm missing a jump because of bad timing, fine, that's all on me. But when I feel like I made a really good effort and then Ty slips down a wall because he didn't grab onto the ledge, that was more than a little frustrating. But now we can talk about something that I actually really liked about this game. Throughout each level, you can collect golden cogs. Once you have enough, you can bring them back to Julius, who will then make you a special kind of boomerang. You also acquire different boomerangs in order to advance through the story. Each boomerang has a different ability. For example, the frosty rings can freeze enemies, make an ice platform over water, and put out fires. And it feels really awesome to collect an arsenal of boomerangs with sweet abilities. Among my favorites were the Zoomerang, allowing me to hit enemies from long distances, and the Zappirangs, because there's something about lightning-based powers that I really like. As the story progresses, a very annoyed boss Cass sends his right-hand man Sly, also a Tasmanian tiger, to defeat Ty. However, he is clearly no match for Ty. After collecting as many talismans as I can, Ty heads into Cass's crest to confront the evil bird and claim the rest of the talismans. And wouldn't you know it, that fine Rippa is here. And, of course, she gets captured immediately. This last level is pretty cool though, because it's simultaneously a boss battle, rescuing and normally traversing through the level. I do eventually save, and it's finally time for my sweet reward. That's it? That's it, Shaza, after all I did for you? I'd like to switch the love interest to Julius, please. As I get closer to Cass, Sly once again returns, completing his promise that he will be back again to exact his revenge. The two tigers charge, about to engage on what is sure to be the fiercest battle yet. And Ty, being the great guy that he is, saves Sly from falling to his death. Now, with Sly out of the way, it's finally time for the final battle. Nothing is too difficult here as Ty infiltrates the giant robot and damages it. However, to destroy it completely, Sly returns and offers his boomerang to finish the job. Ty throws the boomerang, controlling where it travels, into the core of the robot and destroys it, straight up Death Star style. And with all the talismans in their rightful place, order is restored and Ty even gets to save his family. Obviously, there were some things I wasn't too crazy about. The shifty camera and grabbing onto those dang ledges was a little frustrating, but it certainly didn't make the game unplayable. And if I'm being honest, the story was just okay for me. The main strength this game has is its light-hearted, family-friendly environment. It was filled with adventure, silliness, a wide variety of characters, and some good old Australian fun. I mean, for real though, we have to admit that the accents are pretty cool. I didn't play this game as a kid, but I know that if I did, I would have a really great nostalgic feeling for it that would always keep me coming right back to it. Also, I did improve my Australian jargon quite a bit.